beautifully formatted. So we've just about got the entire development team ready to participate in a call here. But really quickly, I'm just going to go ahead and read through this. So, Tether and Feather is a 3D puzzle platformer where you must guide two adorable parrots through relaxing and colorful islands. Tied together, it's your job to make sure that they each safely arrive in their hot air balloon nest. Explore the tether and swing mechanic to glide away through these whimsical levels. Relaxing and movement-based gameplay, bright and whimsical visuals, and play your own way. All right. So go ahead and drop the link in chat there. And yeah, so this is let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I've got 5 of the 6 developers in the Discord here with me. So let's go ahead and initiate a call. Here we go. 4. Okay, 4. 4. One of which is I am in the list of members in this Discord, and I just counted 5 circles, and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. All right, here we go. Let's start a voice call. All right, hello, and joining me, I'm just going along the list that I see in Discord here, and perhaps you can introduce yourselves as I call out your username. So, Francis, how do you say your last name?
Hello? Francis, yeah.
Francis, okay. And then next in the list, I have Martim.
Hi, yeah, Martim is just fine.
Okay. After that, I have Milo.
Hi. Milo is fine.
Milo, okay. And then I have it is Nicole.
So I'll go with Nicole.
Nicole, okay. Sounds good. All right. Well, I just got the game downloaded, so yeah, let's get started. And is there anything else I should know about the game before going ahead with this?
Nope. Just go nuts, man. Have fun.
Excellent. Sounds great. Well,
use a controller if you prefer.
Oh, sure. I have a controller here. If you think it is better to play with controller, I can get that plugged in.
It's up to you, but it works with both.
Oh, this is so creepy. There's such a delay between the audio of the call and the stream.
Yeah, because Discord is next to nearly instantaneous, but the stream visuals are, I don't know, like 5 or more seconds behind.
Yeah.
You get used to it.
You can just disable the so if you're giving me advice of like what to do in the game, it won't work because of that delay. Odds are I might have already tried the thing you're suggesting, but anyway.
Have you played the game before, or is it your first time?
This is my first time trying it.
All right.
So I'll go ahead and pose the questions, and since I'm going to be having the game up in front of me and the questions on my other monitor, perhaps you can decide amongst yourselves who would be best to respond to the question. You know, if you want multiple people want to respond to the same question, that's totally cool. The floor will be yours. So we'll start things off with, how did you decide on what you were going to make for the jam?
Yeah, that took actually a while. Because we were all. Oh, I'm sorry. I just went ahead and started answering.
Let's get his reaction to the game.
Okay. I mean, I do love the adorable sort of painterly aesthetic of the parrots. Whoops, I zoomed in a little too far there. You will see what I mean momentarily.
Yeah, it's a known bug.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, to decide what we were going to do, it was a bit hard because we do not have exactly the same taste on what we wanted to make. So it took us like 3 hours, I think, of reunion. Like we had to make break and everything to decide on a concept. But once the concept was decided, we really went straight for it, and it was fine from there.
Yeah, many different. We got together, brainstormed some ideas, wrote down some ideas, but we were going in very different directions. Until I suggested the idea of the swing mechanic, and we thought everyone was going to do it, but we thought it was funny, and the flow of the game would feel really nice. And so we were, let's go. We did it, and you're discovering the mechanic right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, after that it was smooth sailing, most of it.
So how did you actually get in touch? Were you communicating over Discord or?
So, me, Martin, and Liam are the 3 artists in the game. I know Martin. I've known Martin for a long time. He's a 2D artist. I'm a technical artist, and Liam is a 3D artist and also a bit of a technical artist. And so I invited both Liam and Martin to collaborate. And I knew that the art was going to turn out really great. And so my next step was finding people to do the code and the design and the music. So I used the GMTK Team Finder thing to find to talk with different people. I talked with some different programmers. I talked with other. I received like 10 or 12 different people trying to do the music, so I had a lot to pick from. But it was I think it just went from the profiles and the portfolios and the SoundClouds and just talking with everyone. I called everyone and kind of got their vibe and made sure we were a good fit.
Nice. And then how did you actually get in touch once you had the team formed? How did you actually get in touch? Like during the jam, how were you coordinating?
Discord.
We had a Discord server, and it's really convenient in jam. That's what I always use.
Yeah, we were actually, as we were working, we were constantly streaming our screen. So at least from the point of view of art, it was really useful because I was working on something, and if at any point anyone wanted to chip in and say something like, "Oh, you could do this or you could do that," they could, because like my screen was streaming constantly. Does that make sense? Was that good English? Yeah. Oh no, we lost Nicole.
No.
Oh, we have Nicole back.
Oh.
I will say on that point, in terms of doing the music and the sound effects, it was so helpful that you guys were always streaming and like sharing what the art looks like and the progress of the game, because that was a really huge influence in what I ended up creating and making in the process.
Yeah, so you were doing the music.
Yeah.
Yeah, I realized that's something I should have done at the beginning, was had everyone introduce their roles in the project. But I feel like everyone's been mentioned at this point who's on the call. So who are we missing?
We're missing Liam and Alex. Liam is the other 3D artist who made the animations for the characters and some shader stuff. And Alex is the other programmer who implemented the mechanic along with Milo.
Okay. Excellent. Well, just gotta get my questions back up here. There we go. All right. Chat is asking what engine. It's Unreal 4. Yeah.
Unreal 4, yeah.
It was really for the material. Like Unreal 4 already gave us a lot of artistic liberty on that side.
Surprising that not many people are using it for jams. I mean, maybe it's not surprising, but go for it. Give it a try.
Yeah, I guess, everyone just works with whatever they're comfortable with. Like, even though I'm trying to use Unity more and more in a professional setting, I still default to using GameMaker just because it's something I've been using for a much longer time, and I find it much faster to prototype with.
Yeah,
Games Mitchell? Okay, the username's kind of messing me up a little bit. But I guess they're asking if you're using Blueprints or C++.
We were using Blueprints. It's in Jam usually you do everything in Blueprints because it's much faster for prototyping and iterating on the mechanics.
Yeah, that makes total sense. All right. So if we get any other questions, chat, please feel free to submit questions in addition to the ones that I have here. So what was your development process like for the game?
Did you figure out the first jump, by the way? Sorry. I was just watching the stream.
I'll figure this out at some point.
You'll get there. So the development process was, we got together, we brainstormed the idea for a couple hours until we all were on the same page about, like, this is what we want to make and this is where we're going. And the day before the jam, I set up a repository and a completely empty project. I also set up a bot for our Discord server to announce the Git pushes every time we made a change, and we're really ready to go, ready to start. Then we got together. I started doing this scene. I put an ocean down because we knew it was going to be a swinging thing. I started working on some shaders and some materials, while Milo and Alex were doing the base mechanics with the swing. They put in capsules for the characters. Martin was doing some sketches of the characters. Liam and I think he was still at work at that time, but when he got back, we already had like a little model of the character and a little base blocks to play within the scenario, and then we started just dressing it up and improving the mechanics, playing it as we go, building more levels and making all the rest of the stuff, and yay, that was it.
In terms of programming, we already split the task. I was doing mostly the gameplay programming, like the link, stuff like that, while the other developer were more doing like the technical programming, like the checkpoints, the respawn, and everything like that, the character and everything. And for the game, we basically made all the mechanic and the assets the first day, and then we pieced everything together, like making level and everything, the second day.
Nice.
You guys are wizards.
A lot of the assets were not done in the first day, but we had something there in the first day. We had something that resembled what we wanted to do. A lot of the graphical style kind of evolved. Martin is a really talented 2D artist, so he influenced the game in a big way. And then we made shaders to kind of. Initially, we were going for like I don't know if you've played the Short Hike, but they have like a pixel shader overlay over the top of the whole 2D game.
I know the developer. Yeah, I actually got to beta test it before it was released.
It's a phenomenal game. It was a big inspiration. Yeah.
I'll have to let him know.
And so I made a shader similar to that, but it wasn't working, and so we went with this more painterly style, and I think it worked really well.
Which is actually amazing because it hides all of my mistakes painting the textures. You can't tell, but everything just sucks. The shader makes it so much better.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that I was going to comment about the aesthetic of the game, like in particular the way that the water looks incredible.
Yeah, that was a team thing. I had made some water experiments in the past, and on the bottom you can see the ripples there.
Mm-hmm.
That was Liam. That was his shader magic. The distance fields and some sine waves and the noise. You get those little ripples, and it's pretty cool.
Nice.
That was the cherry on top of the cake, actually, with the sea.
Yep, really,
those little
really
ripples
makes all the difference.
Yeah,
absolutely. All right. So, did you have anything else you wanted to mention about the development process, or should we move on to the next question?
I have something to say, which is this was my first game jam.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was the only one. Oh no, Liam! It was Liam's first game jam.
Liam's first jam as well, yeah.
It's not your first game jam, is it, Milo? No.
No. It was the fourth for me.
It was just you and Liam.
Okay. Being like, this is the first time participating in a game jam, and I'm just astonished by the talent of these guys. It's just crazy. Like, 1 second we were all thinking like, oh, it would be cool if the guy could swing, and we were making some rough sketches, and then suddenly Milo just starts streaming his screen, and he has these cylinder people just jumping in already. The mechanic is kind of working. I was like, what the hell? I'm struggling just making like a few brush strokes, and this guy already programmed a freaking like universe, it's insane. I really want to let people know, like, I'm astonished by the talent of these people, and also obviously Nicole with the sound design and everything and the music.
Oh, yeah.
You guys, you're way too kind. I've done a few game jams, but just the level of talent, like I had that exact same reaction. Like when I started seeing the art, I was like, the stakes have been raised. Like I need to do better in my job to really match just the sheer amount of talent that you guys were putting out. So yeah, it was really awesome to work with this group of people.
Yeah, I think that this is the best part of developing with people and game development in general, is that we can't make a game by ourselves. We need other people's talents. And like to my eyes, the artist talent is magic, and to their eyes, like programming is magic, and that's what I love about video game making is that
Oh yeah, most
everyone
definitely.
in
It's
the team
beautiful.
is a magician his own way.
Exactly.
Absolutely. I was going to say, it sounds like you really all inspired each other to contribute something really incredible here. We've got a lot of people saying that it's an insane amount of polish from a first-time jam. So, but for those of you for whom it wasn't a first-time jam, how many other jams have you participated in?
I think this is my 9th or 10th jam. I don't know.
Yeah, you start to lose track after a while.
Yeah, I'd say the same for me. Somewhere in that number, 8 or 9, 10 maybe. I don't know. They all sort of blend after a little bit.
I used to host jams in my university, and that's where I started making games and talking to people from the games industry. Was I then led a group that was responsible for hosting jams with hundreds of participants, and this was before COVID, so this was in-person jams, and that was a completely different experience. And
Oh, totally.
I fell in love with it. It was fantastic, and I've been doing it ever since. I roped in Martin and Liam because I've been talking to at least Martin. I've been trying to bring him into jams for many years almost, and he was like, "Oh, I'll do it later. I'll do it this," and then he got through, and it was great. And Liam was curious about it. I talked about it at work because we work at the same company, and he was curious and interested, and so we got together, and yeah.
I have to confess something though. Like, is it? Do I pronounce your name Gabriel or Gabriel?
Oh,
It's Gabriel, right?
It's Gabriel, yeah.
Okay, cool. Gabriel was saying that it sounds like we really inspired each other. I would just like to say one thing. Like, one of the things that amazed me is you would not say that if you heard our conversation in the first few hours when we were debating
Oh,
what
yeah.
we were gonna do, because it was really like it was a bit intense. So for me, like the first few hours when we couldn't decide on what we were gonna do, I was already thinking like, okay, this is probably not gonna go that well, but it's fine. Like I'm here to learn, so it's fine. But then it's just like everyone just pulled through, and it was amazing, really fun. I don't know if if everyone agrees with me or not. Maybe I just said this and you guys are going like, oh no, it was smooth sailing all the way.
No, I completely agree. That usually happens. Like sometimes, I think a big factor, at least for me, was I got off work and it was like 9 p.m. and immediately at 9 p.m. I joined the call and my brain was a bit dead because I was working since 1 p.m. And so I wasn't as like good to go as I usually am in jams. So usually I'm like super hyped and super like eager and full of ideas, and I wasn't, and I think maybe that was, at least for me, was why I felt that initially. But I really wanted to be a good time for everyone involved, so I was trying to get it to a point where we were so hyped and happy and motivated to work on it.
I'm really glad that even though it's the initial phases that were a little bit rocky, that everything kind of came together in the end. We've got a couple questions asking about what game this is. This is Tether and Feather. There we go. Conveniently on the pause screen, it says the name of the game. Let me go ahead and make sure I drop the link in chat for anyone who's just joining us now. There we go. All right. And we've got another comment saying that hope you all continue to work together. Can't wait to see what you make.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like we're all over the place. Like me and Francisco, we're in Portugal. Milo is in. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
France.
Oh, you're in France. Oh,
He's
this
in
whole
France.
time I thought you were in Italy.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Like I actually think I replied to you in Italian once or twice, like during the jam. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry.
You can tell from the accent.
Whoops. Anyway, moving on. Nicole is. Where are you, Nicole?
I'm in San Francisco Bay Area, so.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool.
So super close to you guys, like an hour flight away, essentially.
Bay Area of MythBusters fame.
Yeah.
And Liam's in Vancouver. Liam's in Vancouver, so there's that as well.
And where is Alex?
Alex Where is Alex? I don't know.
I think he's Ukrainian, but I'm not
Ukrainian. Yes, that's it.
He said his last name was Polish. I think he said that. As you can see, Gabriel, we work very well together, and this is a very concise team, and it's amazing. we did.
Yeah. I mean, that's the sort of the wonders of the modern age, is that you can just like work together with people all over the world, and it's not like this crazy mess of. I mean, it's still a bit of a crazy mess of coordination, but you know, the fact that you're able to like stream each other's screens, and it's like you're as close as you can be to like working together, even though it's virtual.
If there's one advantage to doing remote jams versus like in-person jams, is that you get to work with people from across the world, and I think that the GMTK jam, at least for us, is this is my favorite jam. I think, like the themes are always just very, very good, and you can do a lot of different things with them. And you know, there's always that many people. It's just the biggest jam, so let's go. Let's
also, I was naked the whole time, and no one knows.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
All right. Well, let me get this next leaf, and okay, pausing doesn't freeze the action. Okay, drat. That's okay. Okay.
Didn't get time to do a pause menu.
That's fine. Yeah. This game, yeah, took Lerp Natili? Not exactly sure how to say the name there, but saying that took them a while to beat. Yeah, I'm not sure about how far of the way through the game am I at this point.
Level 3, and the 6th level, as they get harder as you play.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, we'll see how much of it I'm able to actually complete on the stream here, but at least since this one's an execution-based game, everyone can have fun trying it for themselves. All right. Well, since this was made in Unreal 4, and you know, I'll sort of branch this question out, so the developers can answer like if they have any specific advice about Unreal 4, but for the artists as well, if you have any particular recommendations or useful shortcuts that you want to pass along, and then same for audio design as well. Just from each discipline, can we get a little useful shortcut that you go to in your work that you would like others to know about as well?
Sorry, what's the question? A useful shortcut?
Yeah, let me make that a little more concise. So, in your own line of work, what is a useful shortcut that you rely upon that you think would be good for others to know?
I don't know who wants to go first. Milo, maybe you want to do it?
So, an advice for developing an Unreal 4. That's a hard question, actually. I don't really have any because I'm not professional at all. I learned everything in Jam and by myself. So I'd say do the same because Unreal Engine 4 is actually really easy, I think. Even, I mean, if you know how to code, it gets really, really easy. And even if you don't, you can really make it with just a bit of time and work. So not hesitate to go for it. And yeah, Jam, as an example, is a perfect way to learn the engine. So just go for it.
Oh, I completely agree. If the best advice is do jams and make things and figure it out. And the other thing is, at least on the art side, is don't try and start. Get reference before you start. Like before you make anything, figure out what it is that you're trying to make. Figure out what it is that's inspiring you. That's something we did in this jam. We made a mood board of like games that we thought were really good references, and we decided on a language that we wanted to explore. And so before you even make anything, just figure out what it is that you're trying to make. That's good advice.
Pure ref.
Oh, Pure Ref. Get Pure Ref.
Install Pure Ref, and it's going to take you a long way.
How is that written? Can you write it out in the chat?
Oh yeah, sure, definitely, I'll do it.
Okay. So yeah, you're talking about using reference images for your game. I mean, I had that experience because I was drawing upon the sort of classic Command and Conquer games. So I went and got a bunch of references. In my case, it was more than just a reference. It was literally stealing the art from the Command and Conquer franchise. But in a very deliberate attempt to create a homage to it. So I went and found these references, and then by sight just drew this little sketch. And then my partner helped me. She traced over this image, and then I went and did a bunch of gradients on top of it, and that's how I created the art for my game. So I completely agree. Reference images are incredibly useful points to start out with, no matter if you're doing 3D or 2D or texture work. Just a reference is always handy.
Yeah, and it's actually really interesting because I would say that references are just as important when it comes to music and for sound effects. So for me, the first thing I did was, listen to as much stuff as I can, like listening to that short hike, to the album, listening to Abzu, The Pathless by Austin Wintory, Animal Crossing, just trying to get some ideas in my head. And then the big thing for me is templating, like set up a template with the sonic palette that I really like and that works well. Because that's really what helps in doing a big dent in the music, I feel like, is getting all your tools lined up. And then you can actually take the step to piecing together the song.
So the short hike soundtrack made by my friend Mark Sparling.
Yes. Yeah. That's so good. Love it so much. Yeah.
I take every opportunity I can to plug Mark on the stream because he created over 1,337 songs over the course of 3.5 years. A new song
Holy
every
shit.
single day.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's insane.
So all the stream background music that I use and all the music that I use in my jam games are from his sound library, because you just buy them for $1 and then you can feature them in the background of your jam games, and then he also has rates for commercial projects as well. So super talented guy.
Fantastic.
Hey, Nicole, do you remember when you said, like, when you saw our work, you said, "Oh, I'm gonna have to step it up."
Yeah.
Like, you're done.
That's it right here.
Oh my gosh, I need to step it up even more. You guys, the bar is too high.
Keeps going higher.
I know. I'll get there though. Don't worry.
Oh, you definitely. I have no doubt.
Well, does anyone else have any useful shortcuts or recommendations they'd like to make?
Well, I sure don't, because I have no idea what I'm doing. Like,
Keep going to jams.
yeah,
Jam.
All right.
If you have a friend that keeps asking you to go to a jam, like, for years on end, like, just say yes. Just go. It's gonna be fun. You're gonna meet new people. You're gonna learn a few things. Oh yeah, I actually learned how to texture.
Oh yeah,
I
you
didn't
didn't
know
tell
how
him
to do
that.
that.
That was
Yeah.
this was the first time that he did any texture for any video game, and he textured the entire parrots and the entire scenery. Like
It was actually the first time I textured anything, like not just for a video game, for a 3D. So it was okay. Another advantage of the streaming process, the thing with the Discord, I didn't know how to texture, and Francisco quickly set up a stream and Blender. He opened up Blender and he taught me how to do it in like 10 minutes. So within 10 minutes, I was able to do the thing, which
Nice.
was, if it's amazing. That is also very, very, very useful.
you learn stuff in jams. I learned so much stuff in jams. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy.
And I'll add just one thing on advice, because I just talked about coding, but I actually also made the design of the game. I level designed the
Oh
whole
yeah.
game.
Yeah.
And on that side, I'd say always try to make the mechanic easier for the player, because this is really a skill-based game, and it's really hard, and I keep trying to make it easier, and I really believe that it's still too hard for what we were aiming for the game jam. And always try to, that's something I see in all game jam game. I think that most of them are too hard for the jam. Like a lot of them are really, really difficult. So I'd say, always try to make your player be at ease, and design for fun, not for difficulty, and always assume your player do not master the mechanic. Because that's I've seen a lot of players like not enjoy the game at all because they can't even pass the tutorial, like because the swing mechanic is rather hard to master and everything. So I'd say, yeah, go slow on the tutorial, go slow on the mechanic, and really try to design the easy way.
Yeah.
Another big important thing I want to also say, I forgot, I think, is when you're doing jams, just don't try and do 30 different mechanics. Don't try and make Call of Duty. Don't try and make MMO, World of Warcraft,
Yeah.
or RPG. Pick one clear, simple, concise mechanic. If you have time, pick two, but pick one to be safe, and then work with that mechanic the best that you can. Don't try and do everything. Just make sure you have a clear and concise idea of what the mechanic you want to explore is so that you can explore it.
Yeah, I think that's really good advice. A lot of people will sort of overscope on their jam projects and end up creating things that are, well, maybe technically impressive, might not be finished, might not be polished, might be too hard. All of these are problems that you can run into. Like if you, and then testing as well. Like testing is so important to making sure that your game is actually coming across the way that you want it to be. Like not just you as the developer, but also if you can get someone else off the development team to test it out.
Yeah, completely agree. Quick tip: release the swing when you're about
You're
to.
still going upward.
Think Spider-Man. Think Yahoo
That
Spider-Man.
was
Yeah.
close.
Absolutely. Okay. So I just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge some of the questions and comments coming in from chat here. So let's say that was an intentional death. Because we had the question about the water shader, which I know you sort of partially answered earlier, which is why I didn't immediately bring it up. But let's just get a nice look at that water while I pause the game again. And yeah, so I just wanted to read out your more elaborate description here. So the water ripples are mesh distance fields mapped to a sine wave. Distance field is pretty much just a gradient that radiates outwards from any geometry in the map. If you animate an offset on the distance field, then pipe it through a sine wave, you get ripples that move outward from the geometry. Nice.
That's Liam. He's clearing up with the water. I think he's in the chat answering the questions.
Yes, which is excellent. Really appreciate that you're hopping in and answering some of these. Okay, and then the specular highlights. That was the other thing that I was noticing was when you do look from the source of light, you can see it a little bit better in this direction. Yeah, it's got that it's very much got the painterly aesthetic from the rest of the game. I don't know. Painterly is kind of the best thing I sort of have to describe it because it does look like very like visible brush strokes. I don't know. I think painterly is usually describing more like a watercolor aesthetic, but what word would you use to describe the aesthetic in the game?
I would say
Cute.
painterly. I don't know. Cute, adorable, painterly, hand painted. I don't know. It's a combination between Martin's hand drawn style and the shaders and the material work. They kind of get together and do that.
Yeah.
All right. So let's just see. Water is a default. The water shader is a default resource, but it says Francisco would be able to answer that.
The water shader was based off something that I got from somewhere that I don't remember. I brought it in from a different project that I already had, from an experiment that I did before, and I tweaked it and modified it. But this was a while ago. I don't remember exactly all that I did. I know that we did the waves. Liam did the waves, and that was started from a default resource that I modified to achieve a more cartoony. At the time I was going for like a painterly cartoony style scene, and I was looking for resources that could help me. And I didn't get to finish the ocean at the time, but it worked really well for this jam.
Nice. I think it looks gorgeous. And so this is Liam saying that the painterliness was a Kuwahara post-process filter?
Mm-hmm. So the filter we initially were going for was more like a pixel art, and Liam suggested this filter called Kuwahara, which I think comes from like a medical visualization thing. I googled it and found a resource how to set it up in Unreal, and we tried it out, and it worked exactly what we wanted. It like meshes clumps of color together, and it kind of fakes the like painterly vibe of the game, and so that helps blend all the foliage, all the water, all the reflections, all the textures, and it gets blended in your screen really well, and it helps drive the like hand painted style that we were going for.
It was really fun because the soundscape when Liam was showing it was like Liam has this very smooth, chilled voice, and when he started streaming his screen to show what the shader did, you could hear him going like, "Oh, okay, so I have this," and then the stream starts, and it's just me and Francisco going, "Whoa!" Like
That's exactly what we
perfect.
need. That's perfect.
Yeah. It was really, I thought it was a really fun moment for me.
This is how it is to work with Liam. He's usually like very calm, and then he's doing some magic because he's a magician, and he's like just chill about it. Oh, I'm just doing this thing, and it's just it just takes this vector direction. It does this and this and this and this, and like holy shit, that's just fucking insane. That's amazing. Oh, by the way, I didn't talk about this, but you see the shadow on the characters, like there's a little like fake shadow in there. That was Liam as well, and he set that up in like 2 minutes, no joke, like 2.5 minutes, and he just wrangled some nodes around and he did that, and I was like, what? And I told him, dude, this is already worth the jam for me. Watching you do this is already worth doing this jam for, because this was incredible. Just watching him set up that shadow.
So this shadow that we're seeing on the screen right now, that's not from like a past light or something, or is it?
That takes in like the light vector, like the point of light direction, and then it does like basically like a not a gradient, but like a transition between one color and the other color, and he fakes the shadow color, like multiplies it with blue, and that's it. That's what he does. He just overlays it across the surface of the material, and that's this completely fake shadow, and it's amazing.
That's really cool. All right. So, okay, yeah, and then Liam is further commenting, there's Puahara implementations for most engines. In our case, it was just a shader code snippet. Nice.
I love how someone just said, "It's just math, guys." I love the enthusiasm, though. It's like, I have no idea how all of this works. For me, it's complete magic. It's amazing. I feel like, I apologize for interrupting, but I feel like we praised Liam. We should praise Alex as well.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yes, he's not here. We're not talking about his influence. I don't know what to talk about in terms of Alex, because I don't know what difference like he did and Milo did. They kind of coordinated amongst themselves most of the jam, but he was indispensable.
Yeah, he's a professional, unlike me. So he already has all the right reflexes and how to do everything clean, and he's mostly responsible for the game mechanic, like not the gameplay, but mostly the everything revolving around the gameplay, like making sure that you respawn well, that the call your friend button, all those things, like he's really doing really great stuff. He also made the rope cleaning the two characters together, and he really like he made twice as much work as I did in the jam in terms of pure coding, and he's really talented. Like I can really see that he was a professional, and he was really a great help.
Nice. Went straight over it. Well, this will be interesting. All right. So, do you have any plans for this game going forward?
We definitely want to do a post-jam version, like clean up the rough edges, improve the tutorial to make the mechanics simpler to teach. We were talking about different mechanics that we could add to it now that we have the time for it, like wind propelling you and changing your direction in some ways.
And microtransactions, definitely.
Yeah, DLC, season pass, battle pass, all of that stuff, of course. No, we were talking. We at least want to do that. If we want to go further with this, we still need to have that discussion. But yeah,
we haven't had the discussion yet. Like the return on the game are really good, and we all believe that there's potential. But we need to really discuss what we want to do and what everybody is ready to put on in terms of work and the scale and everything. And we decided that we won't do that right now because we're in the post jam. We got a lot. We had a lot of adrenaline and stuff, so we just thought that we should take a week to see how it goes and to have a fresh mind, and then discuss it like maybe at the end of the week and early next week what everybody wants to do moving forward regarding this game.
Yeah, we're in a little bit of a honeymoon phase now that we completed the game. So now it's like, okay, let's just get through that first, and then we can talk about what we want to do later on. I also realized I never said what software I used, in case anyone cared. So I use Logic mainly for music, and then I use Pro Tools mainly for editing the SFX. That's my cool tech talk, guys. You're talking all about these shaders and shadows, and I'm over here like, hey, I used a keyboard. It's its own thing.
Nice.
It works, but yeah.
It's a great tool.
Yeah, no kidding. Like I would say as much as I have like some understanding of programming and design is mostly my forte, but the whole world to do with like music and SFX is just so far beyond my understanding. That's why I've just been relying on the music that Mark makes for all my projects. So it is its own kind of magic, you know. Don't sell yourself short.
No, for sure. You're right. For sure.
All right. So I'm glad to hear that there's at least some plans for a post-jam version. And chat, now is the time if anyone would like to get in any questions. But otherwise, I will just ask, do you have any other people that you want to give a shout out to, or any projects that are in progress that you'd like to mention on the stream?
I have something that I'd like to mention.
Of course.
Which is no news, but if you go on our game page, there are our names, and if you click on our names, they're linked to our own personal work. So you can, if you want to see 2D art, you can click my name and goes to my Instagram, Nicole's SoundCloud, and I believe Francisco's website. Milo, I'm not sure. I think it's your website as well, or is it your itch.io?
itch.io page.
It's your itch.io. Cool. So you can do that also with Liam and Alex, obviously. You can do that if you're interested in following and knowing what we personally do.
Nice. Yeah, I'm just sort of going through each of them one at a time now. All right. There's a very technical shader conversation going on in the chat, but come on, surely someone else must have a question.
They all want to know our shader secrets.
Apparently. All right. Well, I think I can post each one of these links in chat one at a time. I'll just go ahead and drop them in there for everyone.
Also, go play our game.
Yes,
give it a
that's
try.
The first link I
give it a rating. Give it a comment. Tell it to your grandmother. Get your dog to try it out. You know, have fun.
Absolutely. All right. Nearly got everyone there. All right. It's all of them. So many links, so many people, so many talented developers. Well, thank you all so much for joining me on the stream today. Any closing thoughts?
No, just thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoyed the game.
I did. I don't know. So you said there was 6 levels, and I'm on level 4.
Yeah.
All right.
You're doing it, man.
Is it going to remember my progress if I close it now?
Probably not.
Okay.
We didn't get that far into the game development process to implement levels.
Oh no, that's fine. I mean, everything else about it looks so polished. So.
No, we take inspiration from software games. So
it's a Dark Souls.
That was intentional. Yeah.
Yeah, you die and you go back to the bonfire.
Exactly.
It's like Dark Souls with feathers.
Oh, it's the secret in the newest Elden Ring that you play as a bird character.
It's all painterly styled now. This is actually the preview of that game.
Surprise! All right. Well, thank you once again, and I hope we get to take a look at maybe the post-gen version. If you want any feedback on that, I'd be more than happy to take another look at it. And other than that, yeah, I look forward to seeing what else you guys make in the future.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
again.
you.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. All right. I know it's all different kinds of days, so I will just say enjoy the rest of your day, and that'll be a
You
generic
too.
thing that applies to some people it's night, some people it's early, but yes, farewell.
Farewell.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.